Ah, shit! We have hit yet another psychological jackpot because the blueprint, the almighty, the one with the Eve gene, the one that we are all jealous of here in the exotical space, she has busted it wide open on her patients' faces and posted it online. This is definitely a psychological jackpot because I've talked a lot about how some unambiguous women with inferiority complexes, they try to prove their desirability in all of these crazy ways. It's almost like this extreme femcel type of behavior, this creepy behavior. You guys saw how they Smeggsually harassed Aaron Pierre thousands of times. You guys see how they have this extreme limerence over non-black men. So they create these divestment YouTube channels. They call white men's D's bubblegum peen. They're kind of fantasizing and pedestalizing and fetishizing these non-black men. And now you've got a blueprint healthcare worker from ATL twerking and busting it wide open and dropping it like it's hot on top of her patients so that she can post it on social media. So do you see the lengths that some of these women go to just to be perceived as sexy? But one of the pretty girls sent me this email and she says, it's interesting that these women can mimic our hair by wearing wigs and weaves with my loose hair texture. This is a dark skinned exotical that sent me this email. She's saying that they're wearing wigs and weaves with her loose hair textures, yet go out and act in a predatory behavior. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. I do think some women with inferiority complexes can also be predatory because a lot of you guys in the exotical space have talked about grown women preying on you when you were a kid and kind of like how some of them acted towards Aaron Pierre or how they act towards any man who's lighter than them. But this girl says it ruins the image of dark skinned exoticals with loose hair texture. We get stereotyped into ratchet and over sexualized because of the exotical imitators acting like fools. I wouldn't dare wear any Afrocentric hair or Afrocentric style, especially an afro, braids, or locks, and act like a low down creep. I typically don't have a problem with anyone wearing wigs and weaves and my loose 2B to 2C hair texture, which can also get very silky straight with a blow dryer. But it does disgust me when they wear it and act out in a manner to degrade the look of dark skin with loose hair. It honestly makes me very uncomfortable. Like, damn, act nasty in your own phenotype. I hope to hear your insight and thoughts on this topic. Thank you so much for your channel, EU. Take care and stay pretty. I'm so glad this dark skin exotical emailed me this. And of course, it was posted on the Shade Room, which is owned by an unambiguous black woman. So do you see how people within their own black community, they will go out of their way to actually embarrass other black people? They don't care about protecting the image of black people on the Shade Room. I didn't see this on CNN. I didn't see this on Fox News. I didn't see this on an alt-right white supremacist news outlet. No, this is a black news outlet owned by a fellow unambiguous black woman. So I don't want to get copyrighted by the Shade Room, but basically a summary is that she was busting it wide open and dropping it low and putting her crotch area on disabled people's faces and filming it for social media. So this goes along with my talking point about how some women who have these inferiority complexes where they have felt invisible their whole lives, a lot of these women will do desperate things in order to attain visibility. You guys see on YouTube how a lot of them have complained about how white Hollywood won't promote them and how they get picked last and dating apps won't promote them. So some of these women have resorted to social media grifting so that they can receive the attention they've always wanted. And some of them are so desperate to the point where they will literally Smeggsually assault people. So first they Smeggsually assaulted Aaron Pierre. And now we've got this woman who is Smeggsually assaulting disabled people. And then she's giving them medications. Like she shows herself Smeggsually assaulting them and then giving pills. And she's trying to say that like it was not Smeggsual assault. But if somebody is disabled and they can't give consent, or if they're like nonverbal, or if they can't really move their body, they can't get out of the way. One of the shots is literally of someone in the bathtub. So imagine your unambiguous healthcare worker filming your family member in the bathtub, putting your disabled family member all over social media without their consent. And she's doing it all so she can be perceived as sexy. You guys know how a lot of black women, they get sexualized for the way that they dance or for their body shapes. So first of all, I thought they didn't want to be fetishized. So what happened to that? I thought that they didn't want to be perceived as like these sex symbols or like being sensual. But now you've got this woman who's willing to risk her job just so she can get some likes and get some attention. And notice how whenever they say exoticals get placed on a pedestal, whenever you ask them, like, okay, what is this pedestal? They will talk about how our pedestal is supposedly getting social media likes and attention. So a lot of these behaviors are just ways that they're trying to compete with exoticals. And if you go to YouTube channels like Chrissy's, you will see that she actually teaches her unambiguous following of over 200,000 people to literally compete with exoticals. And by the way, I don't think that a lot of the colorism, texturism, featureism, and pro black content is about social justice. It's all about social status. Some of these women who have inferiority complexes are desperate for social status. So that's why they're doing everything in their power. That's why you saw them strolling and popping it and filming it at Chris Brown's concert. Remember how I made the video about that? I thought Chris Brown was a colorist and a texturist and featurist, but they were filming themselves dancing so that it can get attention on social media. Now you got another woman filming herself dancing so she can get attention on social media. This also reminds me of Afrotech. Remember I made that video about the unambiguous woman at a business conference where she was trying to dance on the guy that was performing at one of the business meetings. Like he was just singing and then she starts trying to twerk on them. Then the guy rejects her. So this is very similar behavior. Some women will use their sexuality and they'll use like kind of these desperate behaviors as their social climbing strategy. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.